Hello YouTube, welcome to a new Unity 3D tutorial. So, last tutorial we played about with our targeting system and got all that working, but today I want to implement a kind of death system to it. So, currently in our space game we can die by being shot at rapidly, we can die by getting atmospheric death, or, well, that's pretty much it. But yeah, so I'm going to make it so there's a third type of death, so we're going to put a kind of limit on our universe, so like say around here you can't leave, so we're going to put some invisible barriers there and make it kill you if you hit them, because it's space, it's going to be different. And then what we're also going to do is figure out what kind of death screen we want. So if you think about most games today, well, old style games, you'd have stuff like 3 hearts, so like Pac-Man and stuff like that. So like 3 hearts, you're dead, end of game. But we don't want that because it's a big game. So most common games, like some games I know take you to a hospital, some other games load from a checkpoint, and we've not done saving or loading yet, so it's a bit pointless at the moment. But we could actually do that. So I'm thinking every time we enter a planet, it stores a variable saying which planet was last entered. So then it'll take you to that planet and let's spawn you right outside it, kind of thing. So I don't know, show a loading screen. You were picked up by a drifting past ship, and it took you back to your place of birth or something. I don't know, your home world, stuff like that. It'd be cool. So first thing I'm going to do is we're actually going to create the invisible barrier. So an easy way to put walls on our game is, well, there's many ways, but I'll show you the best way. You can either put walls like every single place on top and bottom and everything, and then when they hit it, they die. There's one idea. Another idea you can do is put a big box around it and say if they leave this thing, then kill them. It's good, but that's not what I want. And the reason I don't want that is because I want to put some pictures on, so I'm planning to put like pictures of mines on it and tile it so it looks like there's loads of space mines or asteroids, so if you hit it you just die instantly for some strange reason. So I'm going to put plane, so just like we did for height map, I'm going to set it to 000, I'm going to set the x-axis to 2000, okay, we'll try 6000, that's good enough, that's our game world, and I'll move it back, say 30,000, I'll say 20,000 then. So we've got 2 gaps and we'll do it each way, so there, so we'll have a pretty big game world. So what I'm going to do is rotate this 90 degrees this way, so minus 90, and then we can set the z-axis to 2000, and then we have got a big game world. In fact, I'm going to set it to 6000, so we do have a pretty much square game world. It looks small when they'll all be here, but you won't be able to see them while playing. So, and I'm going to duplicate it, Control D, and I'm going to drag it across minus 1000, 20,000, and rotate it 180. Okay, try 0, try 90, there. So there's 2 walls, and I'm gonna duplicate one of them, set it back to 000, and change the y-axis to 90, so then it'll be there. Then we can drag it all the way to the end, roughly about there, and set it to minus 30,000. And then we can duplicate this final one and take it back to 30,000 and rotate it 0, 90, 180, 270. There we go. So now we have a pretty nice world. You'll be able to hide these things eventually, so you won't see them in the main view. So final one is up and down because you don't want them escaping, otherwise they'll be just going forever and ever and ever. So I'm going to get this one, rotate it like that, 0, and I'll just go to the top view, put it underneath everything, and say 000, but then we can move it down to there. And then we'll duplicate this final one. It does look like you're doing a lot, but don't forget a plane doesn't take up much. There. And then if we come into it, you can see it's above, which we don't want it. We want it the opposite way. So we'll say 180. That's not the right one. This way. 180. Boom. So we now have a boxed game world kind of thing. There's plenty of room to swim around, lots and lots of room, because don't forget our character is here. It takes ages to get to there, so think how long it takes to go here. So now we need to apply the asteroid texture. So for the walls, what I decided what we would do is I'd gone and got a picture of our asteroids and tiled it and stuck it into a picture. So we have this, and it's got a black background so you can't see through it. So it looks okay. It's not the best thing, but it was quick. So I'm going to set the tiling to 1616 so it looks like there's a lot of asteroids there. Because imagine if we actually put that many asteroids, we'd get a glitch so fast. But yeah, so I'm going to select materials and drag it onto every single one except that. So select all the planes and asteroids straight on. So drag it to the materials, boom. So now we have a world covered out with asteroids, so it looks weird. Obviously if you go down near the bottom you're going to see the seams, but it doesn't really matter for now. So if we play it, you shouldn't be able to see it, you should see space. Perfect. But if we were to just keep going in one direction for a long time, so as you can see, it takes a long time to get to it and it is huge. So we will one day make it so our camera sees more of it, but as you can see how huge they are, and then we're going to make it so if you hit it, boom, you explode kind of thing. So it's really, really fun and easy to do. So we're going to put system wall, yeah, it's going to be called system wall. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to put those names on every single one. Perfect. And I'm going to tag it. In fact, I'm just going to make it as a trigger and then attach them all into each other, just like that. Perfect. So now what's left is to, when our character collides with something, so easy enough. So we're going to go to our character, we're going to close down half of this stuff and select collisions, and we've already got the code right here on trigger enter. So we're going to scroll down to our space, which is here, and we'll just type if call.gameObject.name equals system wall, and it's not a clone so it doesn't matter, then we can simply say this one. In fact, no, we don't even need that. We set health and shield to 0. So equals 0 and shield equals 0. So that's the part what basically says, right, our character's dead now. But what we want it to do is, on all of them, is check if we're actually ever dead. So we need it in function, we could put it in function update, but then it'd be constantly saying, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, are you dead, are you dead? Which we don't really need it to say. So on the other hand, we can create a new function for it. So function is dead, why not? And we're going to put in here if player, we can just grab this. So if player shield is less than or equal to 0, so that's pretty much explains itself. Then we're going to use something called a logic gate here, and we're going to make it so a logic gate is how computers work. So you have stuff like AND gates, which is if this and this, OR gates if this or this happens, stuff like that. So we're going to use an AND gate logic. So we're going to put two AND symbols, and player starts health is less than or equal to 0. So basically, if we are dead indeed, then we need to kill the character. So we're going to say application dot load level, and we'll simply put the level of our main game for now, just until we get around to making more planets, so then we can do the last planet we're at. So we'll just load level 1. So load level 1, and then we need to restock the player's health and shield. So we put player stats.shield equals 100 and the health equals 100. Oops. Eventually we will need to say on that that we need the player's current health, because they might have 200, they might have backup systems and stuff, but that's all to do with saving. So that should be it. So as soon as we load it or we die, then it should load it nearly, very, very nearly. We've just got to tell it to actually activate the function. Really easy. So down here, it takes away the player's stuff, is dead. And then it'll check, are you dead? Yes, no, else it won't do anything. Then we can come up here, and it loses health again. So inside here, and we can also do it inside here. Just like that. So now it should, no matter what, check if we're dead. So we've got to try all three, so I need to go and sit in an atmosphere. Does not understand level 1. You need it in speech marks. So I need to sit in an atmosphere and die. That sounds so bad. I need to get shot a million times then die. And I need to run to Edge of Universe and die. Pretty simple. So we'll go in atmospheric, kill ourselves. So I'll speed this bit up and be back when it's actually done. So I just tried to run it and I spent ages waiting for it to die and it never ever worked. And the reason is because the player's shield actually stops at 0.9, which is not what we want. So an easy fix would be just to completely get rid of it and say if the player's health is less than 1. Because chances are, well, they're not going to really live. So we can even say 0.5. So anything past that, they are going to die. So let's try it again. So as you can see, we're nearly dead, and it should kill us in a minute and load the level. Just like that. Perfect. Obviously when it loads. There we go. So we loaded. So it's spawned you back, and we've got an error like that. We can fix all that. So, it works perfectly. I'm not going to test the rest because I know if one works, then all works, so it's okay. So one thing I will want to do in the future, probably next tutorial, is when you die, it doesn't just go full health, you're loaded, because that'd be boring, and it's not very good either. So we're going to make it explode, so it'll go poof, it'll wait for a couple of seconds, then it'll show a loading screen and your character will be respawned. That simple, so it'll be really, really cool. So that's all we're going to do for this tutorial. Sorry if it's a bit long, I don't know how long it's going to be if I take out all the editing and everything. I really hope you liked it. If you've got any problems, comment below, I'll always reply eventually. If you want even faster responses, post on my Facebook group. I go on that every single minute. I'm a social junkie kind of thing. So please, any problems, comment below, and I'll see you next time. Hit the thumbs up, please.